Hello, my name is Younis. I'm 30 years old and I am a blogger. I'm a co-founder of punchbowlblog.com. I'm also a freelance producer and director. My background is MTV Europe, but now I live in Nigeria and now I work for MTV Africa doing their flagship show out there. My career started when I was probably when I interned in LA. I did a course in American Studies at the University of Birmingham. I didn't even care what the course was, I just went there so that I could get an internship at MTV in LA. So I think that's really where it started when I was 20 years old. I interned there, supposed to be for 3 months, it turned into a year's internship. I came back to the UK and finished my degree, and through my contacts in LA, I got my first job as a runner on TRL UK, which was MTV's flagship show at the time. After TRL UK ended, I worked on MTV Base for years. I did The Lick with Trevor Nelson, and I did every single MTV Awards ceremony there is to do, probably. Then I went freelance. I did MTV Digs for about a year, and that was my last job in the UK before I decided to pack it all in and move to Nigeria. At the moment, I'm at MTV Africa, so I head up the production unit in Nigeria, which is their biggest territory in Africa. So I produce and direct their flagship show called The Big Friday Show, hosted by a Nigerian comedian called Basketmouth. Probably say it's the biggest MTV show in history. That's what my boss likes to tell me, which is good. And we have like celebrities on every week, kind of like a live format. So I basically produce that show, I script it every week, get all the VTs together. And then on the blog side of things, I've been running Punch Bowl blog since 2009 with my business partner. And we started the blog because we kind of thought that TV was becoming obsolete in the UK. And I had contacts in the music industry, my partner had contacts in journalism. So we thought we'd bring them together and launch a blog site. Typical day is, I'm always tired from the night before. I'm normally editing till about like 10 or 11 p.m. because in Nigeria, editing is a headache. I'll tell you why. We don't have regular electricity supply in Nigeria. So because of that, we're always on generator. Now, you'd think it'd be straightforward, but no, it's not. A generator, sometimes the diesel runs out and we just have no electricity, but we still have a deadline to meet, so we'll stay there until someone pumps diesel back into the system. And it's impossible, near impossible, to find good, competent editors in Nigeria. I only have one guy I trust, and if he's not around, I'm not doing any TV until this guy is well. That's how bad the situation is. He lied to me and told me he was a proficient FCP editor, and he'd literally only done used motions. So he'd never edited in his life. Honestly, a lot of people say a lot of negative stuff about Nigeria, and yes, there's wahala, as they say in Nigeria, but if you can get your head past that, I think the people are so vibrant and the hustle is crazy. Like, you can just be in Lagos maybe for a month and you will come out so energized and feeling really creative, and you see that in the fashion scene out there. The music scene is literally on the verge of going global with like D'banj signing to Kanye, Wizkid is probably going to sign to Akon next year. There are all these acts who are literally, about to make it big. So as soon as you get a taste of that, you're just like, oh my gosh, I want to be here full term. Yeah, Nigerians love to dress up. Their fashion is outlandish, but it looks wicked. Like, I just love being there, and I'm proud to say that I'm half Nigerian, I'm proud to be part of the scene. The move from England to Nigeria kind of happened by accident. I had a year contract at MTV. At the time I was doing MTV Digs with Ricky and Melvin and Laura Whitmore, and they wanted to make me permanent and give me a ridiculous pay cut. And obviously I have a mortgage to pay, and I thought, man, do I want to go back and be a permanent member of staff, or should I just go back into the freelance world? And literally, as I came out of that meeting with my boss at the time, I got a phone call from the head of production at MTV Africa saying, Susan, someone's sick, we need to fly out for a month to do another show in Nigeria. And I was like, okay. So I guess that decision was made for me. I did the show for a month, and I came back to England. I had one more job to finish up. It was the MTV Europe Awards. I finished that, and then I thought, I don't have another job, so let me just go back to Nigeria. So that was in October 2009, and I've been in Nigeria ever since. The adjustment was crazy. It was difficult because I'm extremely independent in the UK, and then I had to go and move back in with my dad. And that was just weird. Dad was like, you have to have the driver drive you around everywhere. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like a grown woman. Why would a driver drive me everywhere? Nigerian women are very empowered. I feel like with Nigerian women, they know no bounds. Like, if they want something, they will go and get it, and it won't take a man to try and stop them. I've been in various arguments and confrontations with guys who have thought that maybe because I'm from England or have that British mentality, I can be told what to do, or they won't take my opinion seriously. So I think I've become stronger, and more confrontational because of it. I feel like I argue with guys all the time in the office, and I'm always like, is it because I'm a woman? Is it because I have a British mentality that you think you can talk to me this way and that way? But I think I've kind of earned respect now off the back of it. There's definitely a glass ceiling in the UK. When I was here, black music was just starting to be mainstream, and I kind of got the impression that even though I worked on the lick is massive in Africa. It still is, even though it ended 2 years ago. I felt that mainstream TV didn't really care about that. They just thought, you know what, it's a black urban thing, and we don't really understand that. That's for the minorities. A lot of my friends who I first started in TV with now work for like the government or maybe police work, or they teach. A lot of people have actually left TV. I don't know if that's because of the recession or again because of the glass ceiling, I'm not too sure. But my friends who have moved back, people outside of the media are killing it out there. They're really, really killing it. They can name their price when it comes to money, and they've set up like multiple businesses. So they're really, really thriving out in Africa. And I think this is just the beginning of like the new generation, hopefully making the continent better and uplifting it as well. You know what, I feel so proud every time I come back to England because I keep saying I worked on MTV Base for 4 years. So I interviewed all of these grime artists that are mainstream now, like before any of them had even like tasted mainstream success. So, you know, I was like one of the first people to interview Tinchy, Chipmunk. Like I probably did Chipmunk's first interview. I think he was 16 for like About to Blow. Who else? Tiny Temper I've known for years. Him and his manager Do Me. Like I've known them before I remember them coming into the MTV Base office like with their mixtape saying, please get our stuff on the lick, you know. Wretch 3-2 I've known for years as well. And like, I'm in Nigeria and I'm hearing all these guys are like getting #1s. And I'm like BBMing them. I'm like, what the hell? How has this happened so quickly? Like, this is amazing. This is incredible. I never in a million years thought that UK music would go mainstream as quickly as it did. I thought there was potential there and it was bubbling, but for these acts to get #1 after #1 and then for Tiny to take it global, like to go to America, is incredible. And I think Nigerian artists honestly are going to replicate that, because when I come back, these UK artists are asking me to hook them up with Nigerian artists. And like I was with Wretch at the SBTV party last week and I said, you need to work with like Ice Prince or Wizkid. He's up for it. So I don't know if these collaborations will happen, you know. But yes, D'banj obviously signing to Kanye, big step forward for Nigerian music. Wizkid is blatantly going to be signed next year internationally. I'm sure Ice Prince is too. Two-Face, P-Square, all these acts are going to go global, definitely. I think 2012 is definitely the year for Nigerian music. My next plan is to launch a Nigerian website like Punchbowl, but that focuses more on Nigerian celebrity because it's just booming out there. I'm fortunate enough to know most of the Nigerian artists now through my MTV connection, so hopefully they'll come on board and help support the site. So that's my next venture. Who should you be looking out for in 2012? Wizkid is a certified superstar. If you don't know about Wizkid, he is a 21-year-old kid signed to Banky W's label in Nigeria. And that boy, I promise you, can single-handedly get Nigerian governors on their feet. And I've been to a lot of VIP events, and it's very rare Nigerian governors stand up on their feet and dance. He has the X factor. I don't know what it is. He is just huge, and he just has an amazing talent. He's very cute as well. The ladies love him. So I think 2012 will definitely be his year. Mimi Lee London is a very talented female designer. Her stuff is brilliant. All the Nigerian female celebrities wear her stuff. Yeah, but we need hot female artists in Nigeria. The only person we really have now repping is Tiwa Savage. Hello, I'm Susan Younis, and you are watching IvyMunro.